ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Zachary Robinson speaking. We are here with X-Plane 11, the FFA320 flight factor, and we'll be doing a flight from Lyon, Saint-Exupéry all the way up to Paris Charles de Gaulle, and we'll be landing on runway 9R on a ILS approach, and then we're gonna see where the weather takes us. So yeah, let's get started. I have already set up the flight for everyone so that we don't have to wait that long. I just need to type in a few details, and after we're just gonna walk around the aircraft, then we're gonna get started. Just a few details I have to enter for the approach. I have on my flight charts, I remembered it. Vertical land speed 141. That's actually good, not bad. Now let's go to performance. 146. I think let me just check real quick what it was. Sorry about that. Alright, sorry about that. It's totally out of range. 148, 156, and 150. Turns altitude here is 4,000 feet. We're gonna take off our flaps, one takeoff. So if you just check on that, 0.5, but that's just a reminder. Oops. And flex is 55 degrees. Alright, straight after that, we have to let in the passengers. Just struggling with the microphone getting tangled up in the wires. Alright, there you go. Sorry about that. And I just have to check the flex temperature so I get it right. So I thought it was not 55, it was 57. Sorry about that. I just had to remember it so that the camera doesn't go blank. But anyway, flex temperature 57. And then we have one more step to do. It's just direct FFA320 There we go. We set up the performance page. That's already set up. The winds, we don't need to type them in yet because we don't know what the weather is at the moment. It will change as we arrive there. Fuel, that will set itself up. Secondary flight plan, we've already set up a secondary flight plan. I did that off camera before. And we go back to init page. To go, just need to check. Yep, that seems about right. So we're gonna change that to 40 nautical miles, and prologue good, ADC good. Alright, now what we need to do is go in here, set the altitude to 24,000 feet, 26,000 feet. Nicely done, and then we're gonna exit out of plan mode. QNH is set, both set. Thrust idle, that should be off normally. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna just walk around the aircraft just very briefly, just to check if everything is in order. and then we're going to start a pushback. That is already set up for us as well. Just walk around here, walk around the aircraft. We're going to let in the passengers very soon. So this is just before the passengers come in, so that the plane is in correct order, right order. Just gonna give a little snapshot of the wings here. Just sit down. Just look in there. Beautiful, isn't it? Or we just do that. But yeah, beautiful, isn't it? And we are running our own liveries, which you will see very shortly. I think everything is in order. Yep, everything is good, looking good. The aircraft. Now let's just go ahead and pop outside. That will bid and everything. That plane is tiny. Right. So we just need to check that everything is in order here. You can see that this aileron is down because the hydraulic pressure isn't on. That's just a bit of wear and tear. Okay, check the engine. Walk around the engine a bit. Get a little snapshot of that. I'm telling you guys, this thing is massive. In VR, if you ever get a VR headset, it's the future for simulation. That's all I can say, because this thing's too looks real. It's scary. So landing gear looks good to me. We will perform a system checkup as well with the ECAM and stuff like that, just to check the pressure and brake temperature. You can see the in there on the other side, which we'll check very shortly. You can see the rat in there. You can see the rats in there. The rats. There it is. Normally when the plane has one engine fails or something like that, or an engine catches fire, well, the rat will come out. Or if you have both engine failure or fire, which is the worst case scenario, it will come down and provide some power for the plane to run some basic systems, but very limited. So anyway, checking landing gear. I think it's alright. Looks okay. Check the engine as well again. Yep, fan blades are there. Ooh. Fuel's in there as well, the fuel truck. Everything good, alright. So I think everything is good, I think. Just gonna check the front landing gear as well a bit. And that seems to be good. The level of detail on this flight factor is just amazing. Thank you Flight Factor team for this beautiful aircraft, I'm telling you. Revolutionizing X-plane. Alright, so now we just need to head back in the cockpit. Up. Get back into the pilot's seat, and I will just configure myself to the joystick. So I will get the right configuration. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Just to reset the view again a bit. Reset it. Alright. Since I'm right-handed, I would like to find the left side. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna check the systems for any faults or errors that need some concern, some maintenance or pilot action, So okay, bleed page, that is normal because we don't have any APU on. We don't have the engines running yet, so the bleed is obviously off. The pack, we're gonna set the packs to high since we have 180 passengers on. It's gonna be pretty full. That is normal. Good. Electrical, yes, that is normal because both engines are not on. It's good. Hydraulics, the hydraulic pressure, good. Seems good to me. APU bleed is off. Good. Temperature seems okay. We might just put it up to 25. Landing gear, temperature 20 degrees. Okay. Flight controls, yeah. Alright, status, nothing. Clear. Okay. We will proceed to turn on the APU. So we're gonna wait until it, okay, turn on APU, and we are going to let in the passengers now. This is a plugin that I downloaded. This is affecting my frame rates a bit here. But yeah, we're good to go. Okay. We just have to check one more thing right before we go here. Turn this panel off. Close the door. Lock it. Now that we have the APU running, either off, check the APU, good, status clear. Okay, now we will perform our before start checklist because we're going to depart right now. So we're going to get rid of everything around us. Remove cargo. GPU is the last thing that we're doing. Okay, gear pins remove. Good. Pilot static check. Signs on auto. Fuel. Check. Altimeters are checked. Good. Beacon on. And we are ready to depart, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to depart. Before start checklist complete. And the throttle on idle, and we have to set the trim up once the engines are running. So I just need to perform a little tweak on my screen, PC screen. It is 7:45. Okay, 7:45, and we will arrive at Bais Al Ghul at 8:35. Okay, now let's get the ground cockpit. Contact the ground crew. Alright, tow is driving up. During the flight, until taxi, until takeoff, I will leave my it will now leave my microphone off because of the sound. I'll let you guys listen to the sound, and I will be performing all the correct procedures for takeoff, since I'm currently holding my mic in my hand because I do not have a desk near me. Turn off auxiliary power, remove that, there we go, good. Okay, tow is connecting. Just gonna set the temperature a bit higher, and once we have the engines running, we'll change that back to normal. Changes to 20 nautical miles. Runway is that way, so we're going that way. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Bit laggy a bit, this game a tiny bit lagging a bit. Yep. Okay. And normally when the pilot does that, you hear the yeah. Then you can hear the wing pumps, and then you start the engines. Starting engine number 1. Chrono. You may ask why I put on chrono. Well, when we start the engines, we normally have a time of 37 seconds. Engine 1, park brake on, good. I'm just gonna wait a bit. Okay, starting engine 2. Chrono. And we have to take off. We have to tell them to deconnect the tow, so we'll be right there. Okay. So I had to clean my VR screen. 7. There we go. 9 seconds. Ignition can come off. Then we just have to wait until hand signals on the right. Then we can turn on this. AP come off. Flap set 1. GN of this. We set the trim. We can. Yep. Alright. Up to us now. flight directors are on, and then if you come off, turn the landing lights on, taxi, packs on normal, everything seems to be good. Now we're going to test the flight controls. Pull left, check. Pull right, check. Pull down, check. Pull up, check. Check. Neutral, check. Check. Neutral, check. Auto brake on. Auto brake on. And then auto brake is on. We're gonna turn on parking brake, do a little brake test. Alright, good, brakes work. To config. Alright, now I'll be taxiing all the way to the runway, and I'll let you guys listen to the sound, and I'll be quiet until takeoff, and then from takeoff until we switch on the autopilot, I'll be speaking again. Just you up. So, okay.
Yes, sir.
We are nearing the runway. We'll be hitting the runway very shortly. Just one more, and then I'll start the procedures for takeoff. So once we go on the runway, we'll be doing a we're just gonna set up the takeoff procedure, and I just braked right now because we have to wait a tiny bit. So I just have to set up, put that on, and then on takeoff we'll switch all of them on, and then yeah, we'll take off. Alright, let's start. So we put everything on, turn everything on here, lights on, all on, auto brake, blue, and then ready for takeoff. I'll be quiet and I'll let you guys enjoy the takeoff, and I'll be speaking once the autopilot is on. So enjoy the takeoff. Neutral. You want rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Gears up. Autopilot 1, 2. Had a bit of a rough takeoff, I would say, on terms of control a bit. It was a bit tricky. Climb. Turn off the lights. contacts on. Go low. Flaps up. Gears on all up, and then once we reach our transition altitude, we're going to click on the altimeter standby. Turn on the weather. Set this to 40 nautical miles. There's some extreme weather on ahead. Alright, transition altitude standby. There's one more thing we have to do. Once we hit 10,000 feet, we're going to turn off the wing light. With an arm, and then we're just gonna TCAS. We don't have to worry about that because that always bugs out. And I think we did a good takeoff until we lifted off the ground. I think it was a good takeoff. And then in terms of flight right now, it's pretty good, looking good. Gonna do a little check on systems because we're already at 7,000 feet. That's good. That's good, and we have to try to get this as low as possible. As well as that is gonna go up as we go up in altitude. Good. Hydraulics looking good. Good. Bleed is off. Good. 25 degrees. Good. I think we're good to go. Clear on the cruise page. It is 8:05 right now. The time is wrong on this, by the way. Don't mind about that, but I know the real time. I just have to add 2 hours to it. We have a wind of, yeah, bit of a tailwind on there, bit of a wind on the side. So far, so good. feet. Here we go. Now we just have to sit back and relax and wait until we hit our top cruise. Yep. Good sun glow in the cockpit a bit. Really nice. And we are 278 nautical miles from Paris. And once we get up to 13,000 feet, we're gonna actually, no, once we get all the way up to 15,000 feet, sorry, we're gonna set auto speed. So yeah, so that the plane can manage the speed. That it's bright enough for us to turn off all the lights off, I think, in the cockpit. A bit down here. Turn that up a tiny bit. That's good. Weather's looking good. No red indications, which I saw, but that was a bit more to that direction, so a bit more towards the mountains. Sorry about that. A bit more towards those mountains, so we're good. I think that we're good. 15,000 feet already. A bit more than 15,000 feet, I think. There we go. You guys may put in the comments below, like, what version of the plane are you using, because Flight Factor normally doesn't have the weather plugin even built in yet on the normal version, and neither does this work in VR. So I'll explain. So basically, I've the beta version, and since I have access to the beta, well, the VR, I don't know how to call it in the Flight Factor, but the panel here is available to use in VR, and you can use it. Basically, it's configured in. And also another thing is the weather plugin system that works. It's not totally functional. It's just this configuration and the tilts and that as well. And that is how far you want it to read, and that as well is configurable, but the rest doesn't work. Also, on the beta version, the buttons look a bit different, like the color is different, I'd say. So yeah. We're gaining our speed slowly. We are, though, gaining altitude less than before. We're not climbing that fast as before. So I think I might just set it up manually once we hit our top speed. Now normally the speed indication is from the cost index, so for today's cost index we're going a bit fast for the AC-20. So I think yeah, I think it's alright. I normally set it to 300 knots, because I don't quite like going over that, because it's a bit, yeah, my personal preference now is I prefer going to 300 knots. It's a good rate of speed, I would say, for the Flight Factor. There aren't any clouds though today, strangely enough. There might be a bit of clouds at Paris, but yeah. And for the channel's content, I will be uploading some videos, a few more videos of VR from time to time. Maybe I don't know, like 3 times a week or something like that. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. And if you guys do not have a VR headset, get it. It's really worth it. Even though VR headsets are a bit expensive these days. I mean, it's very expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth the money, that's for sure, because it's this aircraft just looks amazing. But anyway, enough about that talk. We'll be hitting Mukip, if I say correctly, but we'll be cruising over Mukip at 20,000 feet, which it might not be the case because we're already at 20,000 feet, but it says that we're supposed to be at 20,000 feet. So I'm predicting that we're gonna land at 9 o'clock instead of the other predicted time that we had of 8 o'clock. I think we're gonna land at 9 o'clock. I think. The view is amazing here. Founding clouds is pretty amazing. Okay. check a little thing here. Oops. Like whenever I take off my headset, it always all the time goes black, so I have to sometimes I'll be right back. I just have to just check the time. Alright, I had to clean my lens as well for the VR because it gets a bit blurry sometimes when you wear it for a while. It gets blurry because the heat on the lens. Now we're set to go to 26,000 feet, and you can see the blue cruiser in front of us. That is the aircraft's prediction, the aircraft's prediction of when we are going to hit 26,000 feet. So it's not going to be too long. Sorry for moving the mic, by the way. I'm going to try to get my microphone up to my head height somehow instead of holding it in my hand. Not really efficient. So if you guys hear a bit of scrunching sounds or anything like that, well, it's me moving my mic. Turning 15 nautical miles, that's pretty quick, I'll say. Then we're going to enter into weather at about 130 nautical miles from the airport. We're going to enter into the weather, or the wind, let's say, the wind information. Visibility isn't that good, I would say. It's pretty low. There is one thing that we forgot to do, but it's okay. Normally, like on flights, you would turn on the chrono, but on this flight, when we did not perform that. So it's okay. But in future videos, you'll see me turn on the chrono. Also, I've also heard of people find it difficult to butter the A320, like to do like great landings with butter. Well, to perform butters on the Flight Factor, you have to it's actually really difficult to butter the aircraft. Like, I would say compared to the Tullus is probably more difficult to butter, but A320 is a difficult one because when you try to aim for the runway and then you hear the announcement 50, 40, 30, 20, then retard, well, you have to gently pull the nose up and then flare, and then you should get butter. But normally, yeah. But I've also seen people doing butters. You know, when they'll perform the landing in a flat, they'll just float a bit before the runway and then perform the butter. Well, I would say yes, it's a butter, but like you didn't really perform like the correct landing formula, because you have to. Normally in real life, you would never float. You just land, and that's it. So yeah, it is possible to bother this plane, but it's difficult. We're hitting the waypoint in GGL and then 10L. Once we hit our cruise altitude, we will be performing a little ECAM check as well again, just to check. Here we go, and then we'll be switching off the fasten seatbelt sign. I think we can switch it off now, I think already. And then we're gonna give the passengers some thing to eat at least, and while the passengers eat, we'll just perform our ECAM checkup. Fuel okay? No, it's alright. This is good, I would say. This is good. This is at 0. This is good. And cabin crew altitude is good. Pressure is okay. Good. You might need to watch out on the green hydraulic liquid, but it's okay. Yep. Good. Good. Alright. ECAM status. Alright. Everything is looking good. It already has us turn to destination data. Well, in this case we're gonna enter it then right now. We just have to just put in the wind, that's it. AviTab. This plugin, by the way, is really useful. We already have in here. Wind of 020, 07. Okay. I think that this is the wind anyway. Because there's another one or something like that and then next to it, and I'm not sure if that's the correct one, but yeah. So the wind, and yeah, we're gonna have to retype it in. See that the white arrow signifies our descent. Should be after FFA320. We got descent down already at the airport. And wind has calmed down a bit. It's 182, so that's good. We're gonna put down the temperature because it's getting a bit warm for cabin crew, so we're gonna put it on here. Switch it on to normal again. Okay, straight after this we're gonna descend. well, when the sun goes like that, it's really nice. Actually, in VR, it looks really nice. Sun's reflection on the aircraft is really nice, especially at noon or early morning. Beautiful. So straight after this, we're gonna start at the descent really shortly. Also on the FlyWithLua beta version, they have added, you know, the don't know how you call that, but it's the right before it used to just be a black space, and now they added in the special thing. I don't know how you call it, but they added that in as well. So our next, okay, is 21,000 feet. 21, 1. Okay, good. We're almost there. Perform a quick lens clean right now, so the screen may go black for a few seconds. Alright, I'm back. It's really frustrating that screen goes black like that, but I guess, oh well. Alright, so now we have to descend now. Top of descent. Alright, okay. Yep, don't worry. And we're descending now. We're gonna switch on our speed brakes a bit, slow down the plane a bit, and we have to be at 280 knots for the next one. So I'm just gonna set this, I'm gonna leave the speed selector to manage speed, because I can do it itself, but on other flights I might manually configure it, because if the speed settings are not right. So it wants me to be at 20,000 feet. Okay, so well, let's just set 20,000 feet instead of 21. There we go. That green dot. Normally we have to follow it. Normally it's recommended to follow it, but I guess since I configured the aircraft differently from what it usually predicts or thinks, well, I've gone under the green dot. Already 128 nautical miles. That's good, yeah. And we're gonna check the winds again, because I feel like some winds have changed again. So that's what I thought. 30, 37, okay. Performance data. Here we go. We will get an ECAM warning of speed brakes, but that is okay. If we keep on the speed brakes on. Speed brakes retracted. Here we go, and 19.2. Alright. $19,200 feet. 19. We are almost there. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can see that 80 knots per mile is almost there anyways. So 18,000 feet. There we go. The weather is unusually clear today, I have to say. Very, very strange, I would say. Normally, the weather isn't like that in X-11 for me. It isn't like that. Normally, there's lots of clouds. Loads of clouds. Yep. 1.9 knots per mile, and then 16,000 feet is our next one. Now the speed selector will go down. Just set the spoilers to armed, I think, and we're good to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Next one is 16,000 feet. Yep, it's gonna slow down again. So straight after this, we're gonna, yep, it's gonna be 4,000 feet. And 4,000 feet, we're gonna maintain 4,000 feet, and then we're gonna land. At 18 knots per mile, you can turn on the ILS as well. The ILS notification, the ILS button. I was about to say notification, but this isn't. Anyway, let's turn it down. 16,000 feet. And I forgot to check the QNH of Paris Charles de Gaulle 10.0 1020. Sometimes the flight fighter sometimes doesn't really go down that much, so you have to select the speed manually sometimes, because sometimes the computer doesn't do it for you, which is a error on the beta. Might be, I'm not too sure, but or maybe it's just me doing something wrong, which is probably what I think I'm doing, because normally I like the rate to go down smoothly and fast before we get to that waypoint. And now we can switch on auto. Here we go. That normally should never be boxed. Normally should never be boxed, I think. $87 nautical miles, we're almost there. Hopefully we get a good landing at least. Make the passengers happy. We have reached 16,000 feet, and then turn on the auto brake to low. We won't need that much braking, I think, because the runway's pretty long, so I think we're alright. And auto brake is really useful because when the plane lands, well, you lose the brake temperature it conserves the brakes, I think, because when I checked my brake temperature after I land, well, the brake temperature doesn't exceed above 110, I would say. Compared if I do manual braking, well, the temperature exceeds 110 degrees Celsius. It goes at least 150 or 160 or even 220, and then I have to turn on the brake fan. 15,000 feet. Flight 0150, and we're not gonna make it on time, but right, turn on the ILS. So that's 49 nautical miles. After this, we're gonna set the speed to 250. Yeah, it's gonna set 250 and 10,000 feet. We are good, so we don't have to change anything here. Apart from the speed, we have to manually configure the speed again. It's a bit difficult to. There you go. 250. This will mean that, yeah, we will descend at a slow rate, and we have time. And as soon as we line up to the runway, I'm gonna disconnect the autopilot and we're gonna do a manual landing. And we can already see the runway showing up, but it is on 4 nautical miles. So yeah, the airport's in that area down there. I can see it's down there. Or if I'm not mistaken, yeah, somewhere down there. But yeah. We are almost there. 4,000 feet. If I'm not mistaken, we will put our thing to 4,000 feet now, so that once we get there we're 4,000 feet already. Here we go, and then we're gonna put down our speed to 200 knots. Oops. 210 knots, sorry. Speed brake on. A bit. Slow down the plane more. Because at the moment we're going a bit too fast. The airport there, I can see it. So, oh, a bit higher than that. Got it a bit wrong. Here we go. I think it's 216, right? Yeah, 216. We have to keep ourselves in the green cruiser. Here we go, and we have to manually select the speed. 1,800 feet per minute. Ooh, a bit of a lag spike here, because the scenery is pretty heavy on this. For some reason I always get like laggy bugs or something like that when I enter big airports like that. Now we will set flaps 1 in a few minutes. Don't need to speed brake that much anymore. And how many? Okay, we're good to go. Can we see the? Oh, okay, it's pretty windy in here. There's a gust of wind there, which just moved the whole plane like that. See a bit of the wing here. Alright, oh, we're getting speed, we do not want that. Have to decrease our speed a lot. It's because of the wind. We have quite a lot of wind, I think. Ah, yes, we have quite a lot of wind on us. But I think that's alright. Okay, flaps set to 1 very soon. Not now, but we're gonna just set up to 1. Once we go below this, more speed brake. Need a bit more speed brake here. Once it levels off, it's gonna create quite a lot of. Once we level off, we're gonna lose quite a lot of speed. We have to retract the speed brakes, and we're gonna turn on this. So I'm gonna put in the QNH already. change 1020. There we go. Already here already. So as soon as we turn the bend, I'll be quiet because we have to land, and yeah. Let's retract the speed brakes slowly. Okay, up. Speed check. Flaps 1. Manage speed. And we're gonna set activate approach phase. There we go. Oh, it's a bit laggy. There's quite a lot of lag spikes, but it'll be okay once we land. We'll be fine. And click on approach. Autopilot 2 project. Alright, 20 nautical miles. Just wait a bit. Cat 3. Jeez, 10 nautical miles. Go. Speed brakes a bit more. Slow down a bit more. To get the correct speed for flaps. Speed brake off, flaps 2. Here we go. Okay, flaps 3. And then we're gonna wait until we set flaps full. We're gonna wait. And we can switch on our landing lights. Since it's day, we don't really need that. We don't really need that. Okay, as soon as we come off that bend, we're gonna do this manually. Quick check. Okay, everything on. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're good to go. Prepared for landing, I think. Prepared for landing. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna start turning in a few minutes. Still in the wall. Still a wall until we set our flaps to full and gear down. Still a wall. There's quite a lot of lag spikes. I remember in X-Men 10 a year ago, I think I played that, and I did landing at Paris, and I remember that it was at night, but like all the way there was this, it was just, I downloaded Paris scenery, and it just bugged my game out. But legit, just bugged my game out, and that is why you cannot see the runway, because my computer had trouble loading all the scenery. That's why. So I had way too much scenery on it. But yeah. Alright, anyway. After that bend around about here, we're gonna set flaps full. set flaps full, gear down. And we're going to follow the ILS path. Sometimes the flight factor, okay, one thing about the flight factor, I've realized that on the beta version, I don't know if it's just a beta version, but the ILS is difficult to get. I'm not too sure if it works or anything, but I've tried multiple times, but it does not seem to get it. Maybe I just get the wrong altitude, maybe, but I've tried many times and doesn't get it. So I have to do manual landing, which is okay, I don't really mind, but I just have to, hopefully they will fix that, but I'm pretty sure that the Flight Factor team will get all that in order, and that means that there will be a new BSS sound pack, because the sounds you're hearing now isn't BSS sounds, it's the default sounds. So that means that BSS will probably release another sound, probably version 1.6. Maybe there might be some fixes to the sounds, don't know yet, but hopefully BSS sounds team makes a good job on version 1.6. I know that it's still in progress, but they have to fix a few things, especially on the cabin fans. They're really loud, but leave that up to the BSS team to deal with. But they did a great job though. Okay, see the ILS line up, flaps full. Gear's gonna come down very soon. It's quite windy today. So after that bend, I'll be doing the landing, and so after we land, I'll be talking again once I get everything set up. We are turning here, and we're gonna set the landing gear down on 1 second. Okay, gear down, gear down. Go. Oh, I love the sound of the landing gear when it goes down. So good. Anyway, I'll see you once I land. If you can hear my voice and it's good. You can't. Well, wait a bit. What you're doing is Pilot 1 off. We're gonna switch the flight route because this isn't the correct way. Flight plan didn't really do a good job on that. It kind of like messed it up because you cannot land like that. It's a bit difficult landing like that. So we just set it up first and set up. put our hands into our severed. Just create a bit more space, that's all, so that we have a bit more time to. On the tallest it works, but this doesn't work yet.
Yes, sir.
Hasn't been programmed yet into the flight systems. Who's there, guys? Continue. Approaching a bit. Great landing. Knots. 60 knots. Thrust reversers off. Auto brake off. Minor brakes. weather off. Up, flight directors off. Off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paris, and we did a good landing. I think it wasn't too bad. I did try to butter it a bit, but we started floating a bit, and I put the thrust levers on idle a bit too early, but it's alright. Can fix that. Another flight. So we got the APU on now, and we switched off the weather radar and spoilers on disarm, and we got everything good. Flaps up, everything on, checklist complete. Now all we have to do is go towards the gate and park. Might be a little long while to until the park, but it's alright. APU's on. You're right, exactly at 9. That's good. Gate is assigned along there. We'll just have to wait a bit. We almost are at gate. Normally on taxi, the maximum speed you can go on taxi is 40, and it's 30 on a turn, to not make the landing gear collapse on itself. Since some people have done that, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Probably on Airbus test, probably they test the maximum steering speed. What is weird is that TCAS is now on standby, and during the flight it's on amber. Don't really understand that, but it's okay. Oh, gate is just there. Gate is just there. Maybe one day I'll like do another flight on the draw design, but for now, flight factor and Tullis are the main priorities. I will be doing a video on the Tullis, and you guys will see the frame rate comparison On flight factor, it's okay, it's fine. I mean, the frame rate, no complaints. I get a steady frame rate of maybe, okay, let's say 30, sometimes 38. But the thing is with the flight factor is that its frame rates are so strong, or it's so frame rate demanding that sometimes, I don't know, it's a bit difficult to fly in like big scenery airports. So yeah. Almost there. Especially in LFPG or like Frankfurt, stuff like that. Those types of airports are very frame rate demanding, and when you put in the flight factor in, which has all the systems in depth systems, your system's gonna work pretty hard. But so far it's okay. We are there. This is our gate. And we'll be doing the procedures to leave the aircraft as well once we finish the flight. The next person to fly. Alright, okay, smoothly on that. And I think that it is now. Here we go. Park brake on. And switch off the seatbelt. Engine 1, 2 off. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the park. APU bleed can come on. Chokes on. This can come on. Up. Fuel pumps off. On and off. And leave for the next person to load. We're not going to totally shut down the airplane. We're just gonna leave this on, and we're gonna leave the whole flight systems on as well, and turn off beacon, AviTab off, this on off as well. Master caution, bleed for, well, that's obviously, and unlock the cockpit door. Oops, just a bit of lag here. Alignment to call in the passengers. Set up everything. We're going to set all the doors. Open all the doors here. Call in the fuel truck as well. Call in that buddy. Alright, and then before we leave the aircraft, just gonna walk, stand up, just gonna walk around the aircraft. The ones here, well, there was just no passengers left. A little quick view of the wing, see it in the window. There we go. We're just gonna exit, go back to the cockpit. By the way, there is a code in, and it does work. I have to do a video on that as well. Fans is still turning, well, that's normal because of the wind as well. The wind, and yep. this is Zachary Rosen, and this will be the end of our flight to Paris. And see you next time. Hope you like the video, hope you enjoy this content in VR, very exclusive content, and yeah.